Hello, everyone. Welcome to the EBM Scholars. Today, I'm very much excited. What make me have this kind of excitement is because we are talking about the immigration suspension, and more importantly, there is a lawsuit going on, which this August 27th was the hearing, which it was very interesting. It took me a little bit longer to go through some of the reading. I was not able to follow through for 3.5 hours. It was a long discussion at the court. I got some of the hints from the lawyers themselves, but some of those one I got from the courthouse news. They summarized some of those one, and some I had to listen myself or to watch myself to be able to understand a few things. So what is the current status of the lawsuit? The judgment hasn't been done yet, but is there any hopeful? Is there any chance? Is there any possibility that the ILA, American Immigration Lawyers Association, going to win this lawsuit? Welcome, everyone. This is Ernest Boniface Makulilo, EBM. I'm using two things. I will be using my computer here, but at the same time, I'll be sharing some of the areas or some of the important things which I want you to see on the computer. So let me go and share some of the part of the screen. So if you look on my screen, you will see a few things. Number one, this is from the court news, which usually summarizes some of the things which are going on at the courthouse. So let me a little bit zoom so that you can be able to see a little bit bigger. So the issue is, as you can see, the title is Immigration Advocates Challenge Visa Ban. They argue to judge to curb the Trump's power on that one. So what are the things which are part of this lawsuit? I mentioned before what are the main arguments, but in addition to the main arguments, is there any hope of winning? So for those who haven't gone through to know what are the arguments, there is a video I posted and explaining the key two arguments. But all these one come down to two proclamations. There is the April proclamation, and then there is this one presidential proclamation, which was suspension, which came out on June 22nd. On this proclamation was coming from White House to suspend immigration until the end of the year, until December 31st. So this one is the additional suspension of immigration who presented the risk of the market on this one. So the main argument which was posed by ILA to the court is, does the proclamation, anywhere in the proclamation said don't give the visa? The proclamation suspended the entry to America. That was the aim. But the proclamation doesn't say don't give the visa. So if the proclamation doesn't say don't give the visa, so the embassies have not been instructed by the proclamation to stop giving people visa. So give someone the visa. After the person having the visa, then it is that person whether will be able to come, and that will be the person and the Homeland Security when you appear at the border. So you will not be allowed to come. The good thing is you are given the visa, and the visa expires after 6 months. So in that case, if let's say you get the visa in August, that means, and the suspension for entry, it will be until the end of December. So in January and in February, that is will be the max 6 months. It will be in February. So because we are talking about now, it is August, end of August. So if you get the visa in September, yes, you cannot come because this is going to suspension is going to restrict you to come to the United States until the end of December. So that is the suspension. So the suspension of this one is until December 31st. So if you get the visa in September, you are not, you cannot come September, October, November, December. So those are 4 months. So then you can come January or February. So you'll be able to come. So that is the main argument. But the second argument is because of this plus pandemic and plus this proclamation, the embassies refused to give people visas. So we needed to recover that time where you block people to get the visa. So instead of ending by September 30th, let's extend the deadline. But this extension doesn't mean that we are going to roll over the benefits from one year to another. So these people of DV 2020 will continue to be the DV 2020 winners, but their debt is going to be extended. Instead of ending at December, on September 30th, it can go maybe October 30th, or it can go up to November. So that is the argument. And if that argument is correct, like the first argument, that means the DV lottery winner 2021 will continue to have interview from October 1st instead of waiting until January after the end of this December 31st, the suspension, because if you look, the suspension doesn't force or restrict people to go to the embassy to get the visas. So that is something we need to understand, those few things, before I continue with some of the main parts. So this is one among the most important lawyers in this particular case of immigration, Charles Kirk. So he said, wow, that was some argument in the no-ban DV 2020 case. 3.5 hours. I'm proud to be part of the exceptional group of lawyers, each of whom made a terrific argument. Now it's up to Judge Malta to make the decision and to say, let's win. I'll go a little bit to give you some few other things. And he said, I'll post some, the decision when he makes it. Today's summary was well argued. We argued well. We have the best argument. We should win. So who is this person? So this is immigration lawyer, law professor, advocate of the immigration reform. So these are some of those tweets. So if you go to look about this one, he has been going to give us updates, what is going on, the summary and everything he has been giving up. A few minutes ago, he posted that he's now at home. He's watching the Les Miserables, and he's optimistic that we are going to win. So that is some of the critical updated now. People are waiting and see. But is there any possibility of winning? As a lawyer, the lawyer has pointed that there is a possibility of win, because this proclamation didn't say ban. There are two differences. There is a suspension and ban are two things different. If your country is banned, you are going not to be allowed to be given the visa, even to be getting the visa. But suspension is just the entry. So there are two separations. That's why if you look on only like most of his is no ban, because when you go to look let's win, no ban. It's because this one, there is no ban. The travel ban is different. So this one is suspension. For instance, Tanzania, Sudan, Eritrea, Somalia, Nigeria, whatever, those countries are the travel ban, meaning you will not be allowed even to go to the visa interview. Because if you go, you are going to be denied. So that is a different with the suspension. Is a suspension to enter, but not a suspension to not giving the visa. So people will be given the visa, and it's up to you. How do you come to America? If you come within the time of the entry to be stopped, that means you will not be allowed to enter. Entry means enter, but enter doesn't mean that visa. So those are the difference. So these are, if you look now on the look on the courthouse news, which they updated this particular situation. I'm not going to read all of it, but they say the immigration lawyers in Washington, immigration attorneys argued for nearly 4 hours in Washington on Thursday in a case that that could decide the fate of thousands of immigrants shut out of the United States during the coronavirus pandemic. The lawsuit challenges two sweeping presidential proclamations, which we are talking about, the one in April and the one in June, to cross the borders to immigration with a few exceptions. So few important things, like one of the things which even the judge agreed is this one. Okay, let me find one of the, there are a few areas that I want to show you, which I was trying to explain the difference between suspension of entry versus the ban. Those are different things. So here, oh, sorry, what's going on? if you read here, it say, so this is the judge. Is saying suspension of, suspend the entry of, that is the key in this situation. The key is, if you look on the proclamation, is even the title of the proclamation, suspending entry of aliens, suspending entry of people to come here, suspension of the entry. It doesn't say anything about rendering anybody ineligible to receive a visa. Judge Mehta said after reading from immigration statute at issue in the case. So this is the key part of the case. And that is the key argument, that the suspension of the entry, the proclamation from the president, is just to stop people to enter. It's just like, for instance, I can, as a relative, I can say, please don't come to my house. I can say that way for this particular period. Maybe I'll be going through some few things, but it's different from banning you from getting into the bus coming to my house. Those are two things different, like going to get permission to come to my house. Those are various two things. So if this is the situation, if you look just on this particular part, which judge is going to agree, that means there is a very big possibility of the ILA to win this case. If they win this case, two things will happen. Number one, obviously people will be getting the visa. And if they get the visa for the DV 2020, that means the DV 2021 winners will also be in a situation where they are allowed to start their interviews in October, because KCC is already processing, but it doesn't give people interview date already, but it's a processing and people to be ready for the interview. So this case is a defining factor for both the DV 2020 and DV 2021. So I'm going to end up here, and I'm waiting for the decision. And once the decision is made, I'll go ahead and make another video to explain to you what does that mean for people to win this particular case. So I stop sharing, and I want to make sure that everybody understands this one. And I'm very much excited for you, and I'm very much hopeful. So let's wait and keep our hands together and see what will happen into this lawsuit. Okay, in case you didn't watch my previous in-depth argument about the lawsuit, I'll be able to put the link in the description here, and I'm going to share the videos here or here. You can be able to see the previous video, which were the main arguments of the about the lawsuit. So thank you, everyone. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel in case you haven't done so. Goodbye, everyone. This is EBM. Remember to subscribe and share these videos.